Hello, everybody. Welcome and good evening, good morning, or good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this from around the world. At your service, my name is Leo. You're watching the Asia and Oceania qualifiers for Mobile Legends Bang Bang under the World Esports Iesf qualifiers. Today, we're doing women, and we're doing it across two different regions. I will be joined later on by our good friend Kimberly Mass. She's just trying to hop onto the call so that we can bring you the action. Again, two best of threes coming your way. We've been going all week long, and we just actually wrapped up the men's qualifiers, which itself had its own fair share of ups and downs. And here, the Philippines came up short in men's. Tonight, the women of Team Philippines, also known as Navi PH, will be trying to make it through and carry that flag all throughout, because we'll be witnessing them go up against Team Thailand in the first best of three in tonight's broadcast. They are a Group B broadcast, of which there are 4 teams, and 2 will be going up into the playoffs. So we'll be sharing with you guys in just a bit what that bracket looks like. And of course, you'll be seeing the lay of the land, the schedule running through tonight's matches. Again, there's 2 of them. The other will be a Central Asia broadcast. And I do hope that at some point, my lovely partner, Kim, joins us. Folks, it's a good time to be an Mlbb fan. Esports never stops. Esports never goes to sleep, given that all across the world, there's at least some high-tier esports event happening, and here it is around the evening in the Philippines, where I'm coming from. I hope you guys had a good day, productive day, and you guys could go ahead, grab yourself a nice little snack, or if it is supper or dinner time, do that. Or if you're from somewhere around the world that is still experiencing a good amount of sunlight, grab a quick coffee, a nice way to wake yourselves up. Here are the groups playing from Central Asia, East Asia, and South Asia. Again, for these smaller regions, only one team will be moving forth through the qualifiers. Again, Central Asia is one of the matches we'll be witnessing tonight. That will be a matchup between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, a best of 3. And of course, we have the larger regions in Southeast Asia. Again, it is a 4-team and 3-team group, and then West Asia, there's just 3. All right, so it'll be an interesting go that we'll be witnessing. Again, these are the women in action tonight, opening up with Philippines versus Thailand. If I am correct, 2 of that group will be moving on, and the first and the second place of the broadcast of that playoffs will be making it through to the 17th IESF World Esports Championship. So that is what these qualifiers are for. First up, we're starting off with a matchup once more, best of 3 between Philippines and Thailand, happening at 2 o'clock p.m., 1400 hours, Central Eastern Time. But here in the Philippines, you know what time that is. That's 8 p.m. And then later on, after that, a match between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. That's a Central Asia matchup, happening just a couple hours later. Folks, again, these are best of 3 matches. First of 2 wins. I do believe we have the dulcet tones of my partner joining us in just a bit. So for now, you'll have to make do with me. Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, this is a good time for us to discuss the ongoing metagame. So far, nothing has changed given 1.9.90.2 hotfix. Even if Lancelot and Yusun Shin experienced a good amount of adjustments, they still are the number 1 pick. Of the 2, Lancelot is more accepted. Lancelot is the one that seems to be more put through. There's less of a priority on him, especially since we've seen in the matchup that happened 2 days ago between Team Philippines and Team Myanmar, Lancelot only really came through in the very last game. This is uncanny. I am not used to this being the way drafts go. Team Philippines denied a reverse sweep from Team Myanmar, and they went all the way in game number 2. 22 minutes almost. against the Burmese. And that one had an interesting draft. The Roamer had to play a Ruby, which we rarely see these days, but it does come up. They had a very strong draft regardless. We'll see how Team Thailand's adjustment comes into play, given that they are the underdog. For those of y'all who don't know, this very team, Team Philippines, is also known as Team Navi PH, and they are made up of the MWI 2024 champions. Came up short in 2025, so they have that redemption arc going for them. But after that, here now, as we go into this qualifier match, again, just I believe one more best of 3 for them to play through. Oh, 2. Yeah, just one more. On broadcast, if I'm not mistaken, they still have to face off against Vietnam. Then they might be a shoe-in for the playoffs. And then that's another battle entirely. Once again, we will get to know them, and we will be running through their lineups in just a bit. Both Team Philippines and Team Thailand. Team Philippines, they require less of an introduction, but we will talk you through the roster anyways. Team Thailand, though, if I can tell you one thing about them, is they are esports veterans. Especially one name that comes up in mid. It's been a while since I've seen her play. Would love to see and hear from Proud Tawan, also known as Ramela. Ramela was once part of the very illustrious I Do Not Sleep roster. And if you know I Do Not Sleep and you know Mlbb Esports, you know that they were the very first MSC champions. So without further ado, let's get into the best of 3 matchup at hand. Once again, Team Philippines going up against Team Thailand. Here we go. A quick introduction into these rosters coming your way. First up, Team Philippines, Vivero, Perez, Diagon, Alpuerto, and Amores. You know who this is? Again, if you know them by their IGN, then it would make more sense, right? This is Mirai, Shinoa, Savage Empress, not Ayanami, Keishi, and Amore. So, you know who it is. It's actually very entertaining to see them, try to rebuild their momentum given what happened in Riyadh just about a month and a half in MWI. And they'll be facing off against Hiru, Gam, Pang, Fan, and Pond. These are their full names. They're their proper Thai names, but they also go by their IGNs. 9 a.m., Ramela, Makin, Dinop, and 1404. So they will be in action here tonight against Team Philippines. And I do hope that we see something different in their draft, because Team Philippines, again, real quick to run you by what they did against Team Myanmar, ended up with a relatively standard draft in game 1 against the Burmese. 13 minutes all that game took. They drafted Gatot in Rome, or Gatot in XP. So again, when was the last time you saw Gatot in XP? Gatot in XP, Hayabusa in the jungle, Kimi in mid, which has slightly seen a rise. I don't know why, but Kimi has seen a rise in mid once again. She used to be really weak in the knockouts of MSC about a month ago, and then now she's strong again. Granger in the gold lane, still one of the more reliable gold laners, and then Jawhead Rome. Jawhead Rome we've seen maybe show up once or twice in the Filipino Pro League, the very league that these ladies have in their periphery. So that makes sense. And then that interesting draft they got in game 2 against the Burmese. CC, Joy, Kadira by Mirai. And then that Rome, Ruby. I still, I'm not sure, but it makes sense because they had a Harith on the other side. So he wanted to stop that in a Hayabusa, make it awkward. And then they close up strong with, again, the return of Uranus. Uranus in the hands of not Ayanami, aka Diagon. The Lancelot, I don't know how that made it through the draft. And then a Selena, a Iratel, which, where'd that come from? And a Chip. Speaking of where that come from, welcome, Kimberly. I was
Yeah,
expecting
thank
you.
you.
How are you?
Thank you. Fashionably late, but all good, all good. I mean, it does happen. It happened to Gandhi yesterday, so I guess it passed on to me. So, yeah. Hey, everyone. Welcome to, of course, the Mlbb women still. What were you talking about? I'm so sorry. You were talking about, I heard of Selena before
Yep.
I came in.
Talking about what happened in the past few days. You called this match
Mhm.
against with Husky when Team Philippines went up against Myanmar. Can you share
Yeah.
with our good viewers here exactly how that match went? Because I've been telling them the long and short of it, big picture. How did
Yeah.
that match go? It was the best of three that went all the way.
Yeah, I think it was a 2-1. Am I right? Yeah, it was a
Correct.
2-1 up against Myanmar. I guess there was a prio on the Kimi. That's what I noticed. It's a heavy prio on the Kimi for both sides. There was also the Selena of Amores, which I know she's very comfortable with. So I think that was a key factor. The Gatotkacha ban was a huge deal as well for the Philippines. So the Gatotkacha, once it set up the AOG, it made it so difficult for Perez and Amores to play in that game number 2. And honestly, it's so difficult to watch, even though they were comfortable with the heroes. The Gatot Kacha, I think it's a recurring theme for the past 2 days that I've been casting, that it's either banned away or prioritized by the teams here.
So talk to me about the resurgence of these heroes. You mentioned Kimmy. Uh, why do you think Kimmy has become suddenly a prio in mid? Because it's also happening in other parts of the Mlbb esports ecosystem. We've seen it pop up many different places. Suddenly she's strong again,
Yeah.
despite not being adjusted technically in the game. Why do you think teams
Yeah.
are looking to put a Kimmy in mid more?
Yeah, I actually think I thought it was a ranked game thing, right? And then when I saw it here in professional play, I was like, okay, wow. So this Kimi, I feel like it's because it's a lane bully. Lane bully pokes, it can go head to head with the Farsa in the early. So I guess like the wave clear, team fights. I think it's also really good, like the adjustments that they made with her first skill. So there's also slows. So before you can even come in and set up the play, the Kimi will slow you down. And the burst damage is also insane once you get like the items. So I think the Kimi is next to the Jusin, the Farsa, and the Kadira that were shown in the past 2 days. I think the Kimi is also a good option for the teams. I'm not so sure if I'll put it in the S tier. Like maybe a situational pick, but not S for me personally. Just for me, it's not a like S tier. Maybe A plus. I'd put it at an A plus.
Talking about situational, Kadita was picked once or twice in the
Yeah.
professional league too, and it showed up here in this series by Team Philippines against Team Myanmar. That I think is the more niche pick between Kimmy and Kadira, because there's very little Kadita does against waves, and if the Kadita doesn't snowball or help the rest of the team snowball, I think it's over. Uh, let's talk about Team Philippines choosing to ban the Gatot because in game one they put it in the EXP lane, but when
Yeah.
Myanmar used it, it went into the roam. Where do you think Gatot fits best? If not in the ban phase, which lane would you prefer to put a Gatot if you were to draft it?
I mean, I don't really use it. A lot of people argue and they say that, Gatot Kacha, it's the ultimate's so predictable. It's the other tanks are better, the other roamers are better. But I think Gatot Kacha is A plus, definitely A plus, if not S. I would say for depending on the team, depending how comfortable they are with it. But I think overall, it's just the anticipation of the skills, the return damage, plus the way you can access the backlines without actually flickering in through with the AOG. So that's why I think the roam is much better. Where in like XP, it's more of like, yeah, just sustaining the lane. But the roam, you can pretty much do more things with it. Like it's more utility than actually being in the XP, where you just sustain, maybe go for the clash later on.
Yeah, it seemed like the EXP is owned once again by Uranus, and Uranus is coming back up into the metagame. Wasn't banned necessarily by Myanmar, was banned by Team Philippines game 1 and game 2. Then game 3, they decided to unleash it. Do you think we're going to see it here in this matchup between Philippines and Thailand?
I think for sure. We'll probably see it picked or banned. I think for the Philippines, they banned it twice in that 3-game series. I think even for the other teams here, yesterday we've seen Uzbekistan, some of the teams also put it out. There was also a Uranus jungle yesterday. Didn't really work out that well because of the burst that the opponent had. But I think overall the Uranus is good. It's very flexible. Like you can put it in the jungle, you can put it in the XP. I think that's why the Philippines actually does put it in the prio ban if not picked. So yeah, I think overall it's a good pick.
Yeah, Uzbekistan will be in action later on. Uzbekistan going up against Kyrgyzstan, and in their
Yeah.
broadcasted match that happened yesterday, Uranus was banned once, a no-show
Mhm.
otherwise. So let's see how that goes. We'll cross the bridge when we get there in that best of three for that Central Asia slot. But for now, again, it's
Mhm.
Team Thailand versus Team Philippines. I'll be honest with you, this is an underdog matchup. Team
Oh
Thailand
yeah.
have to pull out all the stops. Team Thailand, it's been a while since you've seen them. It's been a while since you've heard from Thailand on the global stage, Mlbb Esports wise. So I'm hoping that Team Philippines plays clean because this is the best way for them to test Team Thailand.
Yeah, I think even in the male division, I casted this match, PH versus Thailand. I think it's a back-to-back matchup. First day, it was Philippines Myanmar, Philippines Thailand for the second game, and the male division was surprisingly good, and they really improved from the last time I've seen them because I started my career apart from casting female MLBB, it's the Mekong region, so I'm quite familiar with the players. And when I saw them again on Iesf, I was like, wow, this is. I mean, it's a different roster with an addition of like some new people coming in, but like improvements were there, and I think it's very telling. Like Thailand won a 2-0 yesterday in the off-stream matches, so I think definitely they can give the Philippines a run for the money. So I think right now we're getting into the drafting phase. 1-1 permaban. Philippines, they definitely know their stuff here. Already going for the full ban already very early on. 1-1 still staple. I'm looking at I'm not so sure if Philippines is comfortable with the Yisun Shin. That seems to be a thing when you're on the blue side. Like the Yisun Shin is Prio, the Kalea, Lancelot, sometimes even the Zushin. But now the Uranus is wide open, which I think the Philippines can pick up first here. It's something Gigon is comfortable with, and the CC is already out, so they're gearing up for a Uranus pick here.
All right. It seems like we are missing a few bans, but I do think Team Thailand did ban. Just a matter of time before those
Mhm.
show up. One can only assume that Lancelot or Yusen Shin and Uranus are open, and one of those could be the prio for Team Philippines, and it looks like it's the
Oh, yeah.
Uranus. All right.
Yeah. Just like what we talked about earlier. I mean, this is expected. I think for Diagon, either she really wants to she'll use this or ban it away because it's a prio ban for the Philippines, regardless if they're on red or blue. So for the Philippines, a strong start. But again, super flexible. Although I haven't seen Alberto use this, so big question mark. But
Nah.
I think for now, it's safe to say it is going to the XP lane.
Yeah.
Oh, but there you go. They got that catcha almost immediately
This is not
for Thailand.
an El Puerto pick.
Yeah,
If I
for
know,
sure.
if I know Keishi, she likes these assassins. She likes to flex her mechanical
Yes.
prowess. So
The
the Uranus ain't it.
the burst. And I've also used Nakai yesterday, so I guess it was more of the overall composition type of thing that they wanted to go for more of the utility type of jungle.
Oh.
Yeah, but most of the time you see Alberto Keishi on the Hayabusa, the Lancelot's Joy even. So it's very far out, but I'm just putting it out there.
Oh wow.
Oh, there you go, Selena.
They are returning the Irithel. This prior was almost phased out of the metagame, but yeah, no, it looks like Perez wants to bring it back alongside a very good burst in Selena. I'm not so sure about wave clear. I think they need to draft more into winning the map,
Yeah.
and I think Thailand should lock in the Lancelot. We've seen the bans now. It's Arlott and Yisun Shin. Pick the Lancelot.
Yeah, well, they're gearing up for the Lancelot pick here in Thailand. I mean, there's a Farsa front to back. You got a Gacha here, more or less, most likely the Rome. So I think a Lancelot's good before Alberto can get it in the second phase. Like, yeah, pick it up, ban more Keishi heroes in the second phase here for Thailand.
But I'm not so worried because the Hayabusa
Oh,
is
there
still
you
out
go.
there. The Joy is still out there.
They
Um,
might ban that though for Thailand
so those
here
two.
for the last two.
So those
Yeah, not
two.
unless you want to ban a Vivero hero, which I think we've seen her on so many different uncontemporary roamers. Ruby, there was a Jawhead, so there's also that to consider here for Thailand.
She's fine. I think they should lock down on these two, but it might be a distraction. They might actually be planning for
Mm.
this, and then, as you mentioned, putting an Akai onto Keishi's hands because I think it fits. They need some
Mhm.
level of control and utility elsewhere because this is already a very solid core in the Iritel and the Selena.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also the chip here that Vivero loves to pick up. The Philippines loves to pick up in the second phase. It's a surprise factor. Great for team fights, but since the Gatot Catch is already up here for Thailand, will they actually pick that up? Since they are respecting some of Vivero's heroes here for Thailand in the second phase, completely ignoring the possible hero pools here of El Puerto.
Why the Esmeralda ban? I'm confused. Again,
This
I
is
don't.
a 33 pick. 33 from the male division. So I don't know if it's a thing in Thailand because the Esmeralda has popped up. Actually had a good run for the male division. I'm not so sure if it's quite similar to what the female team has.
I don't think it
Is it
comes
like
down to
that?
just numbers, Kim. It's more than just the numbers. It's where it comes into the draft. Like, what does it mean
Mm,
to ban the Esmeralda in this very slot? The Hayabusa gets taken out, so that only really leaves the Joy left
Joy,
for
yeah.
a assassin in the jungle, unless you want to stretch it out to a Nolan
Or
or
a Ling, which we don't really see. I think
or a
it
Ling
fell off the meta, yeah.
or a
So
Fanny.
far.
Again,
So
we've seen some
oh
Fannies.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They banned the Moskov, so this does kind of telegraph the Fanny because there's really very little
Mhm.
answer yet from Team
The
Thailand.
Granger is still up, I think, for Thailand to
Let's
go head
say
to head with this Iritel. Or if you want to
Granger and
go the
Harith.
Harriet route, yeah, Granger Harriet for
Harith is
Thailand.
the number one gold laner right now. So let's
Hmm.
see if Thailand wants to go in that hard on magic damage. They might want to leave that open since it's really no rush.
Hmm. I
There's
feel like
already
they lack, if they go for the Harriet though, they do lack the DPS for, I don't know, just for me, right? And you're going up against Selena, Uranus, very good early from the side of the
oh
Philippines. But oh,
what?
okay, I've seen this yesterday for Iran versus UAE. Unfortunately, this Brody did not win the match, but the burst damage from the basic attacks once it has the items is insane. Oh, this was not in my bingo card. Alice, and I've seen this in ranked games, but not just yet in professional play. I've seen it though in the male division. So this is the first time I'm seeing it here for the Philippines.
Oh, yep. I was given the heads up by Team Falcons members, aka Team Philippines, that they
Mm-hmm.
tried to rock an Alice lineup. Really didn't fly for them. But here it is
Mm-hmm.
again. I think you know Team Philippines is gonna make it one way or another and get a win for Alice in the IESF
Mm-hmm.
World Esports qualifiers. Okay. Uh, plus the Angela as you must. So that is a Rome Angela and then a Jungle Alice. Team Thailand still missing their XP laner.
XP. Lapu,
Oh
Lapu. I was thinking, oh,
no, this is
okay.
this is Team Thailand going in hard on the early game. They need good early
Mm,
game so that Team Philippines gets locked out of powering
yeah.
through their Alice
Mm.
shenanigans. I like it. I like it. Team Thailand, they're showing here some teeth.
I told you. Like even their male division did quite the same. Like it was more than 20, yeah, more than the 20-minute match for the male division. It actually gave like Team Falcons or rather Team Philippines for the male division a difficult time. So if Thailand can pull it through, like get that good early game, able to finish it at least by mid before this Alice or maybe the Iritel scales up, I think yeah, again, a run for their money for the Philippines.
We were looking for this. We were looking for someone to show us that hey, just because we've been relatively mum in the Mlbb esports scene, we've been in Mekong,
Mhm.
but on top of Mekong is always Vietnam, always Laos,
Yeah.
always these other
Laos.
countries. Maybe it's time for Thailand again to come back on top. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Oh,
to game
wait,
one.
wait.
Wait, what?
It's a see, I told you everything you say here. It actually does happen. Every
What?
single time I call something out, it happens. You're saying it's not an El Cuento hero, but yep, it is an El Cuento hero. Although this is something I've seen yesterday on the Akai, but I wasn't expecting it today. I was really gearing up for the Alice. Was this
Well,
like a last minute change?
the Akai makes sense because the Akai is a known factor. Like we know what it brings to the table, but to do this across two different lanes, I I gotta have a conversation with Coach Makarambon. You know, I
Yeah.
talked to him early on today, and I said good luck, and he's gonna need all the luck to make this lineup work. Dear God, an Alice in the EXP and a Uranus in the jungle. What is going on?
Plus the Iritel too, so lots of scaling. Is that? Yeah, I haven't
This
seen
is
Jagon on this hero too, so she's more on
what?
like the hard meta.
What
Hard meta
the?
like CC Uranus.
The last time
I was not
we
expecting.
saw, oh no. Okay, they're fine. The last time we saw Alice in the EXP lane, it was 2021. It was about four and a
Yes.
half years ago,
Yeah.
and it was an Indonesian flavor. The likes of Maxim, and it was Anti-Mage. It was EVOS.
Yeah,
MSC 2021. That's when it happened.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that very match. It was an Alice going up against a was it a Carmilla? I remember there was a Carmilla in that match. Yeah, I don't know. It could be wrong, but yeah, it was ages ago that we've seen this. Maybe gold we've seen that, but here in this current meta, I was still expecting the Uranus in the XP, Alice in the jungle. That makes so much more sense. But hey, they're starting up the turtle here. 1/4 HP already. One double head here for Jagon. Power picks here for Amores though. She's very comfortable with this.
Impressive how they got the Angela to level 4 so quickly. Oh,
Oh wow! Feathered airstrike, and there you go. The Alice Jagon falls. The turtles is still up. Amores gonna get the damage there, but Alberto's still tanky here, and it's gonna be the NOQ picking up the turtle for the side of Thailand.
again, the greed. Consequences. Team Philippines, they really tried. All right, I saw what they were doing, but you can't bully a lineup like this. Team Thailand is poised to win in the early game. They got punished. All right, I won't lie. Team Philippines
Yeah.
got punished. They're down 1,000 gold now. And here's the thing: Gam did not even AOG. Gam just held on to it. There wasn't much of a big impact on that. That's how easy it was for Thailand to punish.
Yeah, and I feel like they might be doing this because it's not Perez playing today. It's Segismar playing today for the Philippines in the gold lane. Yeah. So I was just looking, I was like, where's Perez? I'm like, oh wait, no, that's not Perez. It's a different gold laner. So I guess they shifted their playstyle also, but then again, like what you said, this is not a lineup that you wanna play around with in the early game. Lancelot, Farsa, and even Gatotkacha.
Interesting. The young 19-year-old Nicole Sigismar playing in the gold. I don't know if this sub-in is a massive factor in the switch up. Because, again, if you're Team Philippines and you're drafting a certain way, I'm pretty sure you would still want to keep the integrity of your whole draft despite a player change. So
Yeah.
I'd like to think that it has very little to do with it, but so far, Team Thailand up by 1,000 across the lanes. I guess one thing that you can say is at least Alberto is farming up okay. Like she's down a level, sure, but the Uranus is so low to the ground, and I think that's one way that they're trying to expedite the farm on Diagon, who has like 3 heroes on her now. Goes for the flow.
Yeah. Yep, she does not have the flicker. She's rocking in the vengeance here. Still going for it. A little bit low. Hard guard doesn't come through. And still safe for now, but I think it's difficult to pull this off. I was expecting a flicker. But the vengeance, though, just to sustain the damage. A lot of magic damage, though. That's what I can say. So that's a lot of pressure on Segismar on this Iritel for the
Nah,
late game.
the vengeance is telegraphing that they just want to go to the late game. Look at this. She's trying to bully Beanock.
Yeah. Yep. A little bit far out. She Beanock being zoned out, and Turtle's still gonna be be taken in by Thailand. AOG misses, but for the Philippines, they're able to sustain with the Alice, Blood Ode, and Dragon picking up a kill onto Gambling, but Feathered Airstrike of Ramilla will take her down. It's El Puerto going all the way in, does not have enough sustain. That's gonna be 2 kills picked up for Thailand.
See, this is Gambling missing her AOG, right? There was nobody knocked up, no one hit by the ult, and yet still they found a way because again, Thailand is so good despite being that. Oh my god, a trade! No! Hell survived!
Yeah,
Hills!
that even happened way too fast. She just used her ultimate.
Hills! Oh
What's that? Just a basic.
What the
Basic
hells?
of the Brody.
What the helly? How is this possible? That shouldn't have been possible. The score blocked the vision of the hero. I didn't even see she survived. What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was the stats being popped there on the side. It happened way too fast. Was it a flicker? I didn't get to catch that. But
We'll see. We'll see when we'll see when the damage dealt goes away because you see now it's the Yu Zhong. Again, that's what I said. The Yu Zhong is the key to the early game. She is going to
22k.
call the shots. She's gonna ruin people up until I'd say the 10th minute and can confirm. Hells did flicker away.
Yeah, flicker away and the Malefic Gun to add up to the range here of the Brody. Unfortunately, I wanted to see this shine yesterday and it looks like it's working so well here for Thailand. El Puerto still farming up, okay. But I think that's 2 levels down from what Binoc has. This is care of the turtles that were taken in here by Thailand. So again, for the Philippines, this is a difficult lineup to pull off. But if they do, I feel like they want to extend this all the way up until the late game. For the Alice and of course for the Iritel.
I'll say as long as they're not giving over a 5,000, 6,000 gold to Thailand, this should be recoverable. This should be reparable. And you know what? Just give up this turtle. You can't fight it. Yeah, I'm still gonna try.
Yeah, she's gonna go in. Then there's the AOG. It's still gonna be Binoc picking up that turtle, the last turtle for the side of Thailand. The Petrify onto the backside by Cat Chaser and the Feathered Airstrike from Ramilla to zone everybody away. But Yagon on the backside does not have the Heart Guard anymore and low mana, so they're not gonna go for more here for the side of the Philippines.
All right, touche. Team Thailand did lose their gold laner, and Team Philippines, that's the winning image. Eventually, that's what they want to do. The flicker out here by Vivero, keeping herself safe, away from Binoc. Cat Chaser does not have the ult just yet. Diago now builds the Clock of Destiny, so that'll be, I guess, her second item. And this is very important. Once the Alice builds her 3rd or 4th, then she becomes even much more a bigger threat. So I'll say, if this pace continues, if Philippines can close the gap between them and Thailand, keep it down to 1,000, 2,000, by the 12th minute, they'll be unstoppable.
Yeah, and even get the side lanes push. That was the name of the game yesterday. So let's see if the Philippines can keep up. But so far, again, with this being said, bot, it's gonna be Binoc. Oh, able to dodge that, but not for long. The arrows will still come through from Amores, and this should give the Philippines enough room to push that bottom turret.
So that's a trade. Top lane for bottom. Amores making some space between the rest of the lineup and Ramella. Look at mid though.
Yep, Jagon so has the Heart Guard right now. It's the go signal for the Philippines to go for it, but hell, Jagon picking up the kill. Gambling has the revitalized, no AOG just yet. Ramella gonna get the damage from the rest of the members here of the Philippines. AOG, but it's way too late. The triple for Segismar. 7 kills for the Philippines. Wow! And all initiated here by Jagon and Vivero.
It all comes crashing down. This is the rubber band effect we've been looking for. Team Thailand to bite off way more than they could chew. And Binoc was nowhere to be found. I wonder though if Binoc is thinking to contest because Team Philippines are going to blitz this.
Yeah, they have the vision though, but if she's way too far, that's gonna be the Philippines picking up the first Lord of the game. Well, this should be enough for them to at least go for those side lane pushes. Thailand has been quite aggressive from the start, so yeah, this is their time to push at least the side lanes and at least equalize the gold that they have, or maybe even get it up even further.
More than equalized, Kim. They have gotten themselves a solid 2,000 gold lead. Alpuerto with an Angela in her, going 3v2.
Oh, torn apart memories, but yep, that is Alberto on the Uranus. 1 HP there for Hells, almost. She knew her limits, backed away. The flicker wasn't available, so that would have been devastating. They still have to defend up against this Lord, so it's a good call there for Thailand. Before they go for the engage, they gotta clear this out first. Second tier should be down.
This is a problem for Team Thailand. They committed too much to the early game, and they have almost zero scaling. They have a, what? Mainly just the Brody, but the Brody has to get stacks on you. But at that point, it might be too late. So now Team Thailand are staring down a 3,000 gold lead, and Team Philippines looking to break inhibitors.
Yeah, this far in with just the first Lord, but yeah, still one wave of super minions. And
Here we go!
Alberto gonna soak up the damage, but it is just to take that turret down bot as Mores again planting those arrows, making it hard for Team Thailand. It is Team Philippines. All 5 members still standing with Cat Chaser down. Wow.
Cat Chaser has lost her prime. The Yu Zhong is effective only up to a certain point, and that point has passed. Look at this. Team Philippines now up by about 4,000 gold. Team Thailand have to recover. They lost their bottom lane inhibitor. That's permanent damage dealt to the waves, but luckily, it is where the Lord spawns. So they don't have to deal with the long lane as much, and Team Philippines cannot weaponize that long lane. But at this point, you know what? Who cares about macro? Team Philippines don't, for sure, because they can literally run through Thailand. This lineup has crumbled. Team Thailand, if they don't do this base defense properly, is looking at 0-1 right now. Because I don't think they should even contest. I don't think they can contest.
Yeah, but I think Dagon's looking really scary now. There's the Winter Crown purchased by Dagon, so this is kind of signaling the fact that she will dive right in at any single moment, which is what makes it difficult also for the Brody and Ramela here on the Farsa, right? Like, if you get caught in between, then you got a Uranus. How can you kind of back away from that? You don't have the flickers. Even if you do, I feel like you still have to deal with Segismar or Amores as Abyssal Arrows.
That's what's dangerous about Team Philippines, is they don't care about your flicker. You can get away, but they will find you some way, somehow. Lord has spawned already, lower quarter. Would be nice to see the items. How far is Diagon into this monstrous build? Because we saw Vivero build the Blood Wings. Diagon, though, is she on her 4th item now? On her way to her 5th?
Yeah, she's going on her 4th item. Winter Crown, the Oracle was already built in. I think she's gunning for the Clock of Destiny right now. They're just gonna go for it. B-Knock getting taken down there by the arrows. They just keep on going here for the side of the Philippines and able to stain everything at that. There's the Winter Crown play there for Diagon as Gambling doing her best, but AOG out from that one. Ramela left to defend, but Diagon's in. There's the minion waves down bot. It's only Gambling left to defend. I don't think you can do it up against the full 5 members of the Philippines as they take game number 1.
What I tell ya, this rubber band was gonna snap, and Team Philippines found a way to make this lineup work. A Uranus in the jungle, an Alice in the EXP. Again, we've seen an increase in damage XP laners, but how about this? Team Philippines turns it up to 11 and not just only builds a damage XP laner, but a core XP laner, a carry XP laner in the Alice. Wow. What a swerve here by Team Philippines.
Yeah, I think for the first few minutes though, you did kind of see the struggle from the side of the Philippines. But I think by the time Diagon got in the Oracle and the Winter Crown, it was just a different ball game altogether. Plus the pickoffs on the top side where Segismar was able to pick up a triple. So that added up to the Philippines' power spike by the time it reached the mid-game.
In just a bit, we'll see the items, exactly how Team Philippines got to this point. Again, it's safe to say that Segismar built her Irithel the way we used to see the Irithel, in the recent meta. But this Alice, I want to see how far she got, because The game ended even before she reached level 15. So there was going to be a time where this Alice would be much stronger, would be even more unstoppable than she already was. And Team Philippines, as soon as they found that kill angle, they never let go. Team Thailand, though, I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the know-how, the angle of attack they found in the early game, but I guess they invested too much in the early game.
Yeah. This is way more lethal than the Uranus in the XP. So this really enabled Diagon to do the plays that she wanted to do. You get the stun with the second skill of the Alice, and then you get the sustain as well. So it's really, if you were Hells and Romella, even the flickers couldn't save you. Or even the Winter Crowns, it's just gonna buy you time, and the rest of the members of the Philippines, again, close it out real strong. 12 to 2? In 30 minutes. So I would say this is not really that fast a game, but they close it out strong and clean here for the Philippines.
Wow. Believe it or not, folks, it seems like Diagon only had four items. She only had 4 items. The Clock of Destiny, the Winter Crown, the Oracle, and the Dominance Eyes. That's all it took. That's all it took. And here's the thing. She wasn't even the one with the most gold. They still had the Irithel backup. Interesting, this strat. Now now it makes much more sense in hindsight. We just haven't seen it yet, but the fact that in the jungle, the Uranus demands very little gold, they're able to funnel it through the XP and gold. Interesting. Like, wow, I'm baffled by how simple it is.
Yeah, I mean, we were expecting it to go a different way here for their lineup, but it worked out really well. So I think the Philippines, they're starting to pull out their cards slowly, one by one. We've seen different types of strategies from day 1, day 2, but here in day 3, this is a different page, a different chapter for the Philippines.
I'm with it. Again, this is one way to start a series, shock and awe, bring out an unorthodox strat, and then leave your opponent scratching their heads, wondering where it all went wrong. It's not like Thailand laid down and took it. They were winning the early game, but as soon as the Philippines found a way to get past that, Thailand just let it all slip by. We'll see how they recover going into game number 2, because it is match point. Team Philippines only need to win one more game before they move on and close up the series. Her name is Kimberly. My name is Dan. Leo Kubangay at your service. We'll be right back with the second game in this best of 3. Welcome back. You're watching the World Esports IESF Southeast Asian Qualifiers for Mobile Legends Bang Bang Women's. Her name is Kim. My name is Leo, and we'll be bringing you the action. You're smack dab right in the middle of this best of three between Team Philippines and Team Thailand. Kim, I gotta ask you, you know the Mekong region, you know Thailand. What do you think they'll be bringing out? How will they adjust to take us to game number 3? Oh, you might want to, yeah, I think, would love to. I can't lip read. All right, I'll ask you the question again later. But for now, just to break down the situation, ladies and gentlemen, as our friend here tries to figure out her microphone situation. Team Philippines have blessed us with a draft that one would only see in ranked games. Uranus in the jungle, Alice in the EXP, a Rome Angela, mid lane Selena, and then you just throw a random Irithel in gold. This was a shock as soon as we dropped into the game, but in the draft we expected the Uranus to be in the EXP and the Alice in gold, rather the Alice in the jungle. But in a stroke of genius, the ladies move around the pieces to make this a more lethal lineup. Why and how? All right, let me break it down. If you throw the Alice into the jungle, she's put into more danger because she has to find natural ways to get her farm. If you throw her into the EXP, she's gonna naturally farm up anyways, and then it's clear where your opponents are gonna send their resources. Yes, it is dangerous to face off against a very strong XP laner in the early game like the Yuzhong, but again, it's very spelled out. You know what you're getting into. So that was all the more easier for Team Philippines to remedy rather than the unknown of this Alice just going around in the jungle. I want my farm here. I want my farm there. Stay with me, Angela. And this allowed for the Angela to actually roam, to actually go from lane to lane and to leave the Uranus, who again has very little and very low economical necessities, that they can funnel a lot of that resource into the XP lane and then allow for the gold to play itself. Luckily, even if we are playing with a sub, again, this is the young Nina Nicole Sigismar playing instead of Sheen Perez, they were able to make it work because again, she lived in an island. She played in an island against that Brody, against Hells. So now, going into game number 2, Team Philippines still on the play. Thailand still answering back. Ban out the Uranus to avoid such economical shenanigans. Let's see how else the draft unfolds. There's the Kalia, Team Philippines. They have an open pick here. Lancelot, Yusen Shin, all of the above open. Farsa, they could steal that if they'd like to. Baksha was once banned by them, but instead they banned the Gatot, so they can go Baksha 2, just to close up that possibility for a flex. Let's see how Team Thailand responds to the opener, which we're waiting to load in. I do like that we still ban 1-1 and Zushin in the metagame, and CC. These are heroes that just run away with games. Waiting for this first draft pick for Team Philippines unfold, because that will define what Team Thailand is allowed to get away with or how Team Thailand can react. Again, Yusen Shin, Lancelot, all open, Farsa. Okay, assuming that this is a Lancelot or a Yusen Shin here, Team Thailand have no need to rush anything in the jungle because they know what they're facing off against. There's no way a Yusen Shin and a Lancelot will be in the same draft. So they answer with a Badang Arlet. A lot of CC. Never a bad idea. Again, in my books, that is a safe go at a matchup like this, going up against behemoths such as the Philippines. Oh, there it is, a Baksha instead. Okay. And the Esmeralda. I get the Esmeralda, though. I get the Esmeralda. Especially if you're against a Badang, which is still most likely going to the XP lane. Now the only real flex is the Baksha, for now at least. Roam or jungle? Jungle or roam? Where's this Baksha going? And how does Thailand close up their draft? Do they fall prey to the bait here? Because I think the Philippines is baiting them. I think Team Philippines is goading them to pick either Lancelot or Yusen Shin. That is what I read here. That is my my assumption, because they're not gonna fall for it either. Oh, they'd rather not. Very interesting approach here by Coach Ter. Ah, impressive. Okay, you know what? He himself, a veteran of esports here, Coach Ter, Tanat Jarwujit. Interesting, does not fall for it. Instead picks a Vexana. Vexana has been buffed, ladies and gentlemen. Her kit has been adjusted, mostly for the better, in the recent patch. But I don't know exactly why. I don't know why it comes here in Red 3. Team Thailand bans out the Angela. Denies the shenanigans put on display in game number 1. So no longer will that be possible. So this is Team Philippines punishing Team Thailand for not picking a jungler right now. They take out the Hayabusa, and I guess they'll be taking out either the Lancelot or the Yusen Shin in their Red 5 ban. And they'll let through whatever they're okay with. Like whatever they let Binoc pick. Alright. The usual roamers are still around. You still have a Cho out there. I don't know how if Matilda is a good pick. And there's no room for Matilda on Thailand's roster anyways. The chip, of course, was used in their prior outing by Team Philippines. Okay, so the Moskov gets banned. So up until the very last minute, up until the very last pick, the Yusen Shin Lancelot trade is available. And this is allowed by Team Philippines because they were the last ban here. So they would rather close up this gold lane choice and deny the Moskov, and then pick either the Lancelot or the Yusen Shin after Thailand is done. Whoa! Thailand, what a swerve! Bringing back old favorites, the Alpha. I can tell you now, Alpha wasn't touched in the patch. But that's likely their jungle, right? That's likely their jungle. How does Team Philippines respond now that they see the Alpha? It's not like the Alpha has a direct interaction with their lineup just yet. So Team Philippines lock in their gold lane, the Harith, and there's the Yusen Shin. They'll take the Yusen Shin, why not? Very good farming setup here for the Harith. Also amazing map control with the traps, the Mountain Shocker, and the Baksha just sweeping bushes. Oh my god, this is very good macro for the Philippines. And if you give good macro to the Philippines, that's basically half the battle lost. That's basically what all Filipino teams want. Mechanics is a given. Team Thailand, they need a gold laner. Who they got? I don't think you can carry here. Carry's not good. The Granger's open. Would you Granger? Is this still a Grangerable lineup? Lunox? Okay, there's another magic gold laner. The Nathan. Okay. Nathan has always been bubbling. Nathan has always been... Will we see a Nathan? I swear the Nathan's good now. You know, like I've been hearing this for the past 6 to 9 months. But alas, here we are. Nathan is always only relegated to these weird niche picks or drafts that need, some better magic, and you're afraid the Lunox and Harith has already been picked. I wonder if Team Thailand, with this final pick, Nathan, able to get him across the finish line, or not even, just keep him in the race. Force us to go to game number 3, because Team Philippines, this is a draft that they're happy with. I can tell you that much, folks. This is a draft that Team Philippines felt very little standing in their way to get here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 2. It's match point for Team Philippines. And I'll tell you, I'm pretty confused about how this draft unfolded. Number 1, Lancelot, Iesf, Shin, open till the very last minute. Alpha, prioritized. And the Nathan showing up. Like, these are just but a few headlines in the draft going to game number 2. Impressive leash here set up by Vivero. Again, as long as you control the map, as long as the plan is to be followed, Team Philippines can get away with so much. Now, how does Thailand use their impressive amount of crowd control to stop that? Arrow lands onto Ramela. Amores looking to burst. The answer by Diagon, taking down the Vixana. First blood for Team Philippines. I expected them to be ahead, but I didn't expect them to be ahead that much. Impressive work here. Very in sync. These ladies from Cebu, they've been a team for the better part of half a decade at this point. And they are up by 1,000. Look at this. Al Puerto bullying Pinok. Pinok is taken down. Gold in Segismar's pockets. She is having the time of her life. That's what we call in the business a gold lane experience. Free farm, a few kills here and there, and very few rotations actually threatening you. Ramela gets jumped on here by Vivero, dunked in mid. Nothing Gambling can do, and she falls as well. Amores spends the flicker. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a stomp early on. 2 minutes in, 4-0. Turtle hasn't even spawned yet. I find it hard to see how Thailand is going to get farm on Hells. Again, it begs to be mentioned that this turtle was going straight into the Philippines' hands, but here's one way maybe Thailand can get it. They go ahead and gank Segismar, but she goes ahead, pops the Purify, drops the Zaman Force for good measure. She gets away. Thailand is just a little too honest with their draft and their approach. Look at this. Hell's forced to use the ult to back out. Burger Kim, are you with us? All right, I'll take that as a not yet. Burger Kim will be with us in just a bit. While Ramela still gets dunked on here. Denied her level 4. And I think that is still mission accomplished. That's a technical knockout. That's what we call that in the business. Gambling here. Puts up a wall, and it's her own detriment, her own undoing to have stopped her own exit. 5-0 now. 3,000 gold lead here for Team Philippines. Vivero looking to jump on the Hells, preempting the ult swap. Still staying around that switch up and gets caught by an arrow. Hells, her second death here, or her first death rather. Could have felt like her second. Here, about 3.5 minutes in. Team Thailand struggling to keep this gold lane intact. The farm is getting out of hand. Full shield turret taken down. Next time Team Philippines have their hands on it, it will crash. Cat Chaser is the only member of Team Thailand with no deaths just yet. And that is given that Diagon really won't have much to do with her. And now they do catch one. Ramela able to drop that Eternal Guard. Able to stop the forward momentum of Team Philippines. Retreating underneath their tier 1. So that is some deaths denied. But still, Team Philippines is happy to send them home because they will take another turtle here. Diagon may have cut the lane a little too deep. Cat Chaser looking to punish. Misses that final slash. Misses the ult 2. The Spear of Alpha. No one home. Diagon run in circles around these two members of Team Thailand, takes down Beanock, and might even get away with bloody murder. Cat Chaser finds the vengeance. And this whole time, Diagon left unpunished. Gambling, Ramela couldn't even stop her. The Mount Shocker, more members of Team Philippines able to answer. This has gotten out of hand. And I believe, folks, that is an understatement. Look at this. Even Beanock couldn't taste her own purple. Final slash once again. 0-2, the count on Cat Chaser. Five minutes in. Still no signs of life from Team Thailand. As you can expect, most damage dealt coming from that Esmeralda. AoE, she sends shields, takes them away, deals damage accordingly. Second to her, Amores, able to burst down. She's been doing this since first minute of the game. And of course, Alpuerto, able to weave in ranged basic attacks, basic attacks. Diagon calls this part of the map her home now, between tier 2 and 3 in the bottom lane. This brings in a new definition of dance in circles around your opponent. 20 seconds rather, until the next turtle. More accurately, I think it'll take 20 minutes for Team Thailand to recover if they do make it that part of the game. Maybe 12. If they survive to 12 or 13, then we'll have a game, but that means Hells had one hell of a time farming. And Team Philippines are stopping that from happening. This, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the biggest snowballs I've seen. And luckily, Team Thailand aren't throwing themselves at Team Philippines. Team Thailand is keeping themselves scarce, protecting their own approach, protecting their own lead. And it seems to be the way for Team Thailand. Again, they just have to survive, deny more kills. So far, Diagon is not letting up. Diagon continuing to deny Thailand farm effectively by taking them away from resources off camera. That's a kill for Amores. The Badang falls. Zaman Force dropped in. EG not going to do anything here. Ramela tried to drop it on herself, but it won't save her from the wrath of Team Philippines. They've taken out all outer turrets. Only the inhibitors stay. Holy Shields in mid and top. These are silver linings to Team Thailand's defense. It'll instantly clear, and in the efforts to keep themselves scarce, deny the pushback. So they pop that Holy Shield. In my opinion, they should have tried to stop the wave, tried to keep that shield intact. But alas, I get it. They could have gotten jumped there. Team Philippines now got 2 kills more. 8 minutes in. About 15 seconds until the Lord spawns. Again, a Lord that Team Thailand has nothing to do with. Team Thailand, the best thing they could hope for is waves to crash in. Resources are scarce, and look at this. This is sinister. This is devious. Team Philippines are leaving that purple buff up, and they left a trap there to keep eyes on it, so that if ever Team Thailand were to cross that threshold to try and take their own purple, Team Philippines would roll over. All right, so they took the big buff and they left the baby buff. And this is worse because this denies that buff from ever spawning. Beanock now knows what's up. This is all the more depressing a situation from Team Thailand. And they know that they're trapped inside their own base. Team Philippines will slow roll this. They'll pop its Holy Shield up top. Bottom's already taken care of. And with a 12,000 gold lead, it's just a matter of time. They've got a Lord and a chubby wave down bottom, marching in. Mid as well. Vivero looking to roll around. Kim, do you see what's going on here?
Yeah, it's chaos. Look at that. It's such a perfect game from the Philippines. 9 kills. Wow. There's the Lord also. Every time I come right in, there's already the action. But Philippines, wow, Al Puerto on the Yisun Shin this time. They're gonna lock in the Selena as well. The Abyssal Arrows coming through. But look at Segismar with this Harriet. Stunned again onto the back. Cat Chaser is down. Ramela as well with 1 HP! Gets the basic attack here of the Harriet. A double kill for Diagon. A Gambling X taken down. It's a wipeout as Philippines will take this series with a 2-0. I came in just to say that with force. Wow.
About 30 seconds of the match you caught. Welcome back and congratulations, Team Philippines. True warriors, Team Thailand are. They took that fighting. They went down fighting and they did what they could. They did what they knew what to do when found in a situation like that. But alas, the wrath of the Philippines, especially on their comeback season, is deemed unstoppable. Congratulations, a sweep for Team Philippines.
Yeah, they left no stones unturned for this one. For the past few days, they did try different things, drafted a bit differently, but for today, cleanly executed. We've seen some surprises in game number 1, but here in game number 2, I did catch just the last part, like mid to late. So yeah, it was just comfort picks for the side of the Philippines. And Segismar looks really good on Team Philippines here. We're seeing her play for the very first time, and it's a clean 2-0.
I do miss Perez. I'm a big fan of the Savage Empress.
Same.
But
same.
For those of y'all who don't know, she has received surgery. She's in recovery, and I'm pretty sure she'll still want to play, but I guess it's for the better. So I'm not so sure if this is the exact reason why Segismar is playing here today, but you know what? I couldn't tell. I'll tell you now that much. I couldn't tell. Team Philippines is still kicking butt, and they finished this game in 10 minutes, and they gave Thailand the best match that they could ever ask for. Like this is how you show your opponents respect. You play your heart out.
Yeah, I can close my eyes and still say that this feels still like Perez is still playing the game. Not to discredit Segismar here. She had a very, very good run. First game up until second game, she was so consistent. And in almost under 10 minutes for all of the games. This one is 10 minutes, exactly 10 minutes. First game, not too far out, but overall, Philippines played such a good game for Thailand. I know that they've had a couple of sweeps for the past 2 days, but of course, the Philippines again still stands on top, the home of the champions, of course. But they did put up a fight up against the Philippines. They have a very good understanding also of the game, so definitely GG, nice try. But this game, super clean, coming from the side of the Philippines. No deaths, I believe, for the side of the Philippines.
Yep. If we're being honest, I'll tell you now, game 1 had a better turnout. Game 1 looked like a better game for Team Thailand. And here in game 2, again, that was some sort of gambit from Team Philippines to attack the morale, the mental of Team Thailand, and then they turned in this performance. Amazing work for Team Philippines once again. Quick update on what happened off stream, ladies and gentlemen. We do have some off-stream matches happening. Malaysia won versus Timor-Leste, and Brunei Darussalam won against Laos. So congratulations. Those are how the brackets are unfolding here in the qualifiers. But we're not done, because we got one more match tonight. Coming your way is Uzbekistan versus Kyrgyzstan in a best of 3. Once again, you're watching the World Esports Iesf qualifiers for Asia and Oceania. Her name is Kimberly. My name is Leo. Stay with us. We'll be back after this break. Welcome back. You're tuned in to the World Esports Iesf Asia and Oceania qualifiers for Mobile Legends Bang Bang Esports. This time, we're doing this for the ladies. These are the women's qualifiers, and you just witnessed on this same broadcast, Team Philippines sweep Team Thailand 2-0. That happened about an hour ago. Now we've got another best of three coming your way, and this time we're taking a visit to Central Asia. Coming up next is a matchup between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. And I'll tell you now, Uzbekistan is looking more promising. They're trying to go ahead and take that final slot to qualify for the next stage. But as it stands, Kazakhstan is just that good. Kazakhstan is currently number one. And if I may say so, Kazakhstan is a Central Asia powerhouse. If you all don't know, whenever there is an EECA event for Mlbb Esports in the region, it's usually held in Almaty in Kazakhstan. So that explains why the Kazakhs love their Mlbb and why they're doing well in Mlbb Women's. So for now, it's a matchup between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan. Let's see which one of them can come up at least in a strong second place to Kazakhstan, because at this point, who's going to stop the Kazakhs, right? I believe this is the first time that Kyrgyzstan will be in action on broadcast, because already Kazakhstan has faced off against Uzbekistan. So making their debut on broadcast is going to be Ayaz, Rena Blue, Y Miawi, Vloderica, and Raven. These ladies will be fighting for their country's pride, and again, they're a wild card. Again, 0 matches on record, 0 matches on broadcast. I have to be honest with you folks, I haven't really seen any of them in action yet. So it will be nice to see these young talents in the Land of Dawn making their way, facing off against Hinata, Space Loves Us, Slowly, So Good, Sog the Fly, and Yasya. So yesterday, I believe, when did they face off? Yeah, yesterday, Uzbekistan already faced off against Kazakhstan. They went all the way, all right? They went all the way, and it was, on average, about a 15, 16-minute game. There was a 13-minute game, a couple of 20-minute bangers, and here's what sucks. It was the very last match that just finished quickly like that. So, who's to say that maybe Uzbekistan can take this? I don't know if I can say it's going to be a sweep, but what I can say is they love their Kalia, they love their Irithel, and they love their Baksha. These are some big picks that they have prioritized in their matchup against Kazakhstan, and I'm pretty sure Team Kyrgyzstan will be paying close attention. Team Kyrgyzstan have more information on their opponents than otherwise. So I'm pretty sure Coach Bei Fong, the coach for Team Kyrgyzstan, the 22-year-old Jumar Dulatov, will be paying attention and calling the shots here, saying, hey, take care of that Kalia, take care of that Baksha. Luckily, these heroes are already in demand anyways. I don't know about the Irithel. The Irithel is a secondary hero in the gold lane. It's been gaining more notoriety. Again, as Burger King mentioned, she's seen more of it in recent days. So maybe. But also, they like their Farsa. So this is something to note and something that Kyrgyzstan can take into consideration, given that this is their first match playing in this qualifier. Talking about bans, those are some things that they should take out. Uzbekistan has already taken out Gatot more often, 3 times the CC as well, and 3 times the Bruno. Dear Lord, they don't like those heroes. No matter how you slice it, those heroes get banned out. As well as a Frederick. So as long as these things remain true going into the draft, which is going to happen in just a wee bit, then we kind of know what's going to go down. It's hard to predict exactly how a match will go, especially if we only have eyes on one. And Central Asia is a developing region, Mlbb Esports. So I'm hoping that we get to know more of Kyrgyzstan in just a bit, because I've really only spoken about Uzbekistan since we started the show again. So with that said, again, some things are true. This still is an open metagame. In case you missed it, in the first series of tonight, Alice, Uranus, Angela, Iritel, Selena happened. And it worked. That was a lineup that actually made sense. Because of the jungle choice. It's the Uranus. Psych! You thought it was the Alice, but I love how low to the ground the Uranus is, and that allows for a XP lane funnel to happen. So I appreciate that teams here in the women's qualifiers are making that work. They're pushing for that change. Who's to say that Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan haven't cooked something up? Because I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to what these Central Asian teams have brought to the table. I've already called out the coach for Kyrgyzstan. If I'm not mistaken, Uzbekistan has no coach, not on record. So it's these ladies running the show for themselves. So if they cook something up, if they discover something works, it's all them. This throws back to the old days of Mlbb Esports. I'm talking early 2018, 2019, where coaches were a secondary thought. We're so far removed from that. This is a full-on professional career. And now that we're also fighting for your country's pride, for, a league and a tournament series as premier and as illustrious as World Esports Iesf, then, that's a lot of shared pressure on the backs of the players for Team Uzbekistan, and as well their team captain, the 23-year-old Kristina Ismailova, Hinata. So eyes on Hinata, ladies and gentlemen. Assume that she's making a lot of calls behind the scenes to rein in the squad to take the dub against Kyrgyzstan, because they're already one series off being defeated by Team Kazakhstan. Here we go. Uzbekistan on the play. Kyrgyzstan answering back. Let's see what we got. So they still don't like that CC. We know that much. They also banned out the Zushin and the Moscow. Team Kyrgyzstan banned out the Arlet and the Yisenshin. Nothing quite out of the ordinary just yet. Save for that early Moscow. That early Moscow is atypical. Great attack on the Farsa here. Lancelot open here. Interesting that Team Uzbekistan totally let that through. Kyrgyzstan should definitely clamp down. Here's what's odd. Team Uzbekistan, they banned out the Lancelot in game 1 against Kazakhstan. I wonder why now it's through. Speaking of through, wow, the 1-1. Huh. It's been a while since we've seen a 1-1 come through. We usually see 1-1 right here in red 3. Over right here. There you go, red 3. But they still go for the Haya instead. These teams are Lancelot non-believers. Uzbekistan overloading on crowd control here. Pick up the Gatot and the Irithel to close up their first phase. So there's still room for the Lancelot. The Lancelot might still come up in Uzbekistan if Kyrgyzstan don't ban it, which, oddly enough, both teams really hold low stock in. Hey, Kim.
Yeah.
How are you?
Oh, all good. As you can see, I switched my headset, switched to something else, so hopefully this is much better. Wow, what do we have here? 1-1. And Hayabusa out for today, but I think I gotta highlight the 1-1. I think that was such a prio for a lot of teams. Most of the time perma-banned, which let's see if it's gonna be a game changer here for Kyrgyzstan.
Yep. Also, the Lancelot we don't see often.
Yeah.
The Lancelot is something that just went by. But Kyrgyzstan isn't even clamping down on that. They'd rather not see a Fredrin.
Yeah, I mean, if you add up to the lineup here of Uzbekistan with a Fredrin, that's just way too many frontline that they need to deal with. Plus, they don't have the peel just yet, so we don't know any mid laners. We don't see any mid laners just yet. Though I was thinking something along the lines of an Eve, but it's gonna be banned away as well, which leaves us the option with the. I see some teams using the Kimi, right? Like the Philippines. So
Yeah.
not so sure if that's gonna be an option here for Kyrgyzstan, or maybe we've seen a Kagura as well, so I don't know if that will pop up today. I know it has resurfaced in the professional scene, so let's see if that's going to be an option. Good in and out, great burst. It was buffed in the last patch, so maybe it could be an option. But with so much frontline here for Uzbekistan, not so sure if that's going to be an option.
So Selena is still out there.
Hmm.
Valentina has also seen quite the resurgence in the current metagame, but that is with good cause. You have to have an ult that you want to steal or bear down or counter your opponent specifically. So I don't see the need for that just yet. We have seen as well earlier tonight a Vexana played by Team Thailand. So that might have made its way across Asia to be played by Team Uzbekistan or Kyrgyzstan. There's the Grok banned out since there's no roamer yet for Team Kyrgyzstan. Interesting how this draft has come to unfold.
Yeah, I think for the Grok, we've seen it yesterday. For Uzbekistan and because I think it was Kazakhstan that they gone up against, and the Grok was absolutely lethal. Like the barrier, then you get the tectonic charge. Kyrgyzstan here already has a very good scaling. Great side lane, and yeah, I love me some Sicilian. Can never deny that. They need the burst. They need the burst magic
Ooh.
damage, which I feel like this Sicilian still definitely needs to be protected. We've seen a Sicilian Carmilla combo, which I don't really see that often, and I'm happy to see it whenever I'm casting. But yeah, I'm thinking something along the lines of high loss here for the side of Kyrgyzstan. Overall, that would be a very good, very good draft overall. But for Uzbekistan, it's all about setting up the place. They got a great late game with the marksman, so all they need now is somebody that can go head to head with the Hayabusa. The Lancelot hasn't seen light of the day for today, but Suyo, I've seen this yesterday. 100% win rate so far.
You know what? The Suyo is only really afraid of the Sicilian, and here's the thing. The Sicilian has a dead zone. The Sicilian,
Yeah.
once you get in its face, deals 0 magic damage. Almost 0 magic damage when you're right within range. So I get where Team Uzbekistan is coming from here. Kyrgyzstan closes up its draft with a Kufra.
Yep.
I like it. It's the more proactive choice instead of the Carmilla or
The Hylos.
The Hylos, you know, this is more, I will protect you, and if we're winning, I will hunt them down. So I like it. Both teams play to their strengths. Both teams find a way to draft a proactive lineup wherein, really, for Uzbekistan, it's farm up to the Irithel. For Kyrgyzstan, I hope they fight early. I hope Kyrgyzstan can pressure Uzbekistan into a snowball for the Sicilian.
Yeah, but not just a Sicilian. Even the one here needs the space, right? So that's 2 lanes. That's scaling for the side of Kyrgyzstan, but for Uzbekistan, super good early game overall. I mean, it's just the Iritel that's the one that will shine, obviously in the late game. But for the rest of their lineup, this is pretty deadly if you kind of get to snowball with this type of lineup and end the game early. But you know, if it does reach the mid to late game, that will favor the side of Kyrgyzstan.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, going into game number 1 of this best of 3, the Central Asia qualifier, Uzbekistan has already suffered a defeat, a 1-2 loss in the hands of Team Kazakhstan. Will they continue on their losing ways in the hands of Kyrgyzstan, or will this team making their broadcast debut fumble to the pressure? Again, how hard is it to play at this level? I'll tell you now, very difficult. The world is watching.
Yeah, this is the lineup of Uzbekistan that went for this Suyo also last time. So it actually has a 100% win rate on Iron's hands. The last time I've also seen it was a Paquito for Iron, but it was so weird overall. Like the Paquito couldn't go in that matchup, and it was such a weird pick coming out from Uzbekistan. But right now it's a bit more safe, a great early, and we haven't seen any pickoffs just yet. I feel like both sides are more about the poking right before the turtle.
And this is good. Again, these two teams, they don't know each other as much, and they're checking range, getting to know how much they can get away with. Arena Blue trying to get some stacks onto Hinata. So again, that's a false engage. Again, teams just heat checking each other. 20 seconds until the turtle comes up, and you see teams don't really dropping much hints of where the rotations are going on. They try to get Sogdify here to drop the Revitalize. That's a win for Team Kyrgyzstan.
And yeah, I think they're doing their best to poke right before the turtle. That's exactly what you want. Get your opponents back into the flicker out from Yasya. A bit too early, one resource out, but here comes the Bats piece from Rika QQ just to poke further here up against Uzbekistan. And this is good. This is exactly what they need to do. Poke, make sure that they don't get the objectives first before. But whoa, look at that. Soji Fly, Scarlet gonna be able to pick it up with the Retribution. Iron getting zoned out there. Rena Blue getting in the swords coming out from Iron. But that's gonna be the first turtle going to the side of Kyrgyzstan.
See, Kim, that's what I'm talking about. Team Kyrgyzstan picking the Kufra to be able to be proactive about it. Lalyala single-handedly zoned out a handful of members from Team Uzbekistan. So this allowed for Scarlet to come in, Retribution relatively punishment-free for Rika to be able to, help with the damage, even if there's very little of it coming from her just yet, and allow Kyrgyzstan to gain about 1,000 gold lead. And how's Uzbekistan responding? By farming. They have the better macro, they have the better vision, so they will try to cross the river a little more aggressively. That's what that Suyo was doing. That's what Iron was trying to do.
Yep. The presence here of let me call her Lalia. Lalia is all across the map as well. Like I think that's the beauty of having a Kufra. You can set up the surprise plays. Plus the bouncing ball also kind of negates a lot of the skills here coming out from Uzbekistan. So I feel like they're also being a bit careful, even though they do have a good early here with their lineup.
And once she does find the Suyo, hell, even the Badang or the Selena, say goodbye to those dashes. Oh, here we go. It's one.
Wow. Well, that is going to be it, but that's Sojifly using all resources to get out of that one. And that's exactly what this team keeps on doing, right? Like they're utilizing their pokes. You got the Sanguine Claws, the bouncing ball. This is enough to actually make Uzbekistan back away. And as you can see, even though this is supposed to favor Uzbekistan in the early, it seems like Kyrgyzstan is doing so well right now, forcing out all of these skills after skills, and even their own purple buff is almost denied up against them. But again, such a good start. I was actually expecting them to kind of play it slow, but it seems like they can keep up with the tempo here of Uzbekistan.
By God, Kyrgyzstan seems to have overshot. They might miss this first turtle.
Yep, a little bit too deep, and they had to reset, but that's going to be Iron picking up the turtle this time for the side of Uzbekistan. But that's going to be Soji Fly picking up the AOG to get out. Hinata getting in the tugs, the push and pulls here from the glue, is still able to sustain with the shield coming out from the turtle. Beautifully played there. Still no first blood. It's already 5 minutes.
This is mouth-watering discipline and macro excellence on display from both sides. I'll tell you now, the fact that there's no deaths or kills means that everyone is playing defensively. This is how you should drive. This is how they teach you how to drive in driving school. Avoid all danger at all costs. Macro is the name of the game, and this is benefiting Kyrgyzstan. I'll tell you why. They want the Sicilian to farm out. They want that 1-1 to hit its power spike faster. And they can afford to play this Hayabusa much like a utility Hayabusa, just farming up. And I didn't expect Kyrgyzstan to be able to get that much space. Oh my God, what?
Oh,
where?
Wow. You were just talking about Scarlet there, right over in the mid. She didn't have the flick. Oh, actually, she used the flicker up to get away from that. But still, with the shadow kill, there's absolutely no escape, right? And they almost got the turret down bot too. So Kyrgyzstan, they're playing so well right now in the early. I think even pressuring Iron on the jungle side, but the most damage dealt so far is actually surprisingly Rika QQ. Wow, this is just what 6 minutes into the game. You're not even at 200 stacks just yet with the Sicilian, but I can't imagine if this stretches out even further to like more than 10 minutes. It's gonna be a whole lot more damage coming out from the Sicilian.
True, there is space bought for Kyrgyzstan's lineup, but the push happened for Uzbekistan sooner. Uzbekistan, in the heat of the battle, got that push up top, so they're winning the map. So now with the final turtle spawning, who's gonna get better footing here?
Yeah, it seems like Uzbekistan is in a much better positioning. Taking down that turret up top was huge, but oops! G from the backside, who's gonna take the turtle? Still gonna be the side of Uzbekistan. Scarlet taken down, but Rika QQ is able to pop, as well as the crossbow of Tang from Ayaz. Yasya taken down 2 for a price of 2. Not so sure who won that, but Uzbekistan got the turtle.
Ayaz, the fact that she stayed alive alongside Rika means Kyrgyzstan know their priorities. It's so easy as cores in the mid game like this to say, I'm ready. I've been farming up for the past 5 minutes. Let me fight. But no, their discipline and their long haul plans take priorities, and they did not cross that threshold. So that puts Kyrgyzstan at disadvantage, about 1,000 gold, but still no kills. So Ayaz can still farm, and oh, she's so close to dying.
Yep, the pokes as well from the Irritel is starting to hurt here for Space Loves Us, who hasn't suffered any casualties yet. Most of the time you see her down bot or just farming, right? Like if you see the team fights, it's Hinata, Soulfly, Iron, and Yasya. So it's mostly Space Loves Us camping out on the bottom side. She has the most gold as of the moment.
Kim, this is the part of the game where Uzbekistan's lineup is the strongest. The fact that they have a Suyo and this Irritel, you can see Space Loves is already starting to hurt. There will be no love lost between these gold laners. I think Uzbekistan should just push it. They should punish Lalalia like this as soon as she crosses and then turn it into more objectives. That's the play here for Uzbekistan before it's too late, before Kyrgyzstan gets their definite power spike.
Yeah. Lalalia is also pretty fearless here with the dives, right? So they can punish. But for the side of Kyrgyzstan, they do have the damage, so they can just go for the full engage if they do that. But speaking of the full engage, there is the revitalized Soulfly, able to sustain for a bit. But there's the setup from Hinata, AOG from the backside, able to catch. Is insane. Yasya and the rest of the gang are able to take them down. Now Rika QQ as well, getting the missile arrow, and the rest of the gang still getting a double kill here for Uzbekistan. 2 for the price of 2. There's gonna be more arena. Triple for Yasya before the Lord is up. Uzbekistan punishing Kyrgyzstan right after you said it, but Ayaz able to pop the crossbow of Tang there. Not enough just yet. Oh, there you go. That's enough. Missile arrow comes through here. She's in trouble. Shutdown comes through. Yasya with a mega kill right now, standing at a 5-2-2 on this Selena.
That is devious what Uzbekistan did. Again, I'm pretty sure they wanted to do it cleaner, but instead they end up with a Hansel and Gretel situation. They fattened up the 1-1 first, gave her a few kills so they can pop her, shut her down, get more gold on the clapback. This puts Uzbekistan up by about 2,000 gold from Kyrgyzstan. 7-7. Currently, I think they should keep pushing the advantage here, Kim. I think they should just keep forcing fights and disrupting Kyrgyzstan's farm, because if they let Rika QQ get more, Ayaz more, they can't pull the same Hansel and Gretel situation anymore. They have to win fights and turn it into objectives faster.
Yeah, Space Loves Us is able to get a turret up top, but Scarlet taken down real low. Oh no, they're backing away from this objective. I feel like they're just gonna give it to the side here of Uzbekistan. Oh man, what was that? The pokes. The damage coming out from Uzbekistan right now, it's not that far. Like if you take a look at the gold, it's not that far. Maybe just one shutdown, a couple of kills here for the side of Kyrgyzstan. But then again, Uzbekistan is playing their cards so well right now. They got the Lord. They were able to poke the heck out of Kyrgyzstan, and at least the outer turrets should be gone here with this Lord take.
I'll tell you now what they're doing, Kim. They're listening to Coach Leo. They're taking my word because they know that if they let Kyrgyzstan get a power spin, Rika almost get popped.
Flicker out to safety, though. That was 1 HP. One more hit that could have sealed the deal there for the Sicilian of Riga QQ. But 2-1-2, that's not so bad. I think 11 minutes in, this should be at least like 200 stacks on the Sicilian. But, you know, they have so many things to take care of right now. The turret pushes coming out from Uzbekistan. The Lord push down bot, which they haven't taken out. And Uzbekistan knows that very well. They will force the team fights here, knowing that they still have the upper hand right now.
Kyrgyzstan, if they go past about 15, 16 minutes, it's all them. But for now, Uzbekistan should take advantage of the fact that Kyrgyzstan can't hold a box. Uzbekistan have superior crowd control. If Hinata misses... Oh, what is this?
Yep, conceal play. Oh, it's the center. He is going to take out Iron, taking down real low. AOG for the backside and the crossbow of Tank from the one of Ayaz. Soji playing Iron down, and next is going to be Hinata. One Bats impact to seal the deal. And now the bouncing ball here onto Space Loves Us. Ayaz goes down though. The heavy crossbow is starting to hurt, but so is Rika QQ. Enough for Yasya, and Space Loves Us to back away. They successfully defend the base and take down 3 from the side of Uzbekistan.
See, I told you that Kyrgyzstan can't hold a box, but they use the map to their advantage. They use this like how the 300 fought the Battle of Thermopylae. They used a funnel to allow for their opponents to come in one at a time and have Rika QQ and Ayaz fire off. See, they use the map. That's genius. And I guess it's just how they improvised that fight and engaged via the conceal. Kyrgyzstan know what they're doing. Kyrgyzstan know that victory is just about 3 minutes, 4 minutes away if they can make it there. Now it's a clock ticking for Uzbekistan. If they don't get this Lord, then all the more their fate is sealed. All the more Kyrgyzstan have locked in for the late game.
Yeah, I feel like the movements here from Uzbekistan is just very telling of that. Like, you see how they're a bit more moving towards the side here of Kyrgyzstan's jungle. I'm sure maybe they get a pick off, 1 or 2. You see Hinata and Yasya. Such a deadly combo if you get the fist crack plus the abyssal arrow. So it's good at what they're doing. They're trying to contain this Lord Pit to ensure that Uzbekistan gets it. And so far, no one's able to go in yet. It's only Lalalia that's able to go in. The Scarlet from the backside. Oh, plus Uzbekistan got that Lord. That's exactly what they wanted to happen.
And they're not done.
Lalalia, yeah. They're not done, but yeah, Yasya, almost there. But they got the Lord. I think for the side of Uzbekistan, they know they have to at least take down all the inhibitors, or maybe possibly go for an end here. The only one who can set this up is Hinata, Soji Fly with the AOG, but so far they've been playing it out real safe, just waiting for the right time, because knowing that Lalalia is also again relentless on diving in and out here. Up against the side of Uzbekistan.
Kim, it's now or never. Lalalia has no flicker. And again, if Kyrgyzstan make it past 16 minutes, Uzbekistan has a whole world of trouble they have to deal with. So Rika's forced to use the ult here. The Lord has already jumped. And here's Lalalia!
Oh, there is now or never, as they say in High School Musical. But that is going to be the setup. 2 members down, despite the fist crack. The flicker in here by Rina Lulu. The Bat's impact is starting to hurt. Double kill there for Scarlet. Now Iron with nowhere left to go. Ayaz not even able to pop that crossbow tank. That's 4 members taken down just like that. And the defense there by Kyrgyzstan. Yasya as well. Nowhere else to go but back into the base.
So now you're seeing a weakness for Uzbekistan's lineup. They are short of range. Again, the only real long-range damage they have is from Yasya, and it's a complete skill shot. And it's possible that it just totally misses, like your High School Musical reference, because I don't know that. I'm a Gen Z. I just turned 20 last week. So Kyrgyzstan have to punish hard, and they're going to clear the map, turn it red, and we're going to get past 16 minutes, and now it's just that much harder for Uzbekistan. Uzbekistan now have the maybe pick off Scarlet number one. It seems to be easier to find Scarlet than Iesf or Rika, and maybe force these false engages from Lalalia because she seems very, very gung-ho about her flicker.
Yeah, trigger happy. Pretty much. Whenever the skill is up, I feel like she's one of those roamers that's not afraid to burn the flickers, not afraid to dive. As long as she can get one or two, that's totally fine with her. At this point, it doesn't even matter if it's whoever she takes from Uzbekistan. As long as she can set up the play, they know they have the damage right now. It reached the 16 minute. You've seen it in that flash. 4 members instantly down, despite the fact that they have at least 2 tanky members. Even if you count the Iron here on the Suyo, but right now the Abyssal Arrows also with the lethal ignition. In the bushes is also starting to hurt here, but that's not enough already. As you see, Kyrgyzstan, the setup, it's gonna be Lalalia down. Revitalize is up as Rina Lu as well, able to take down the back lines. Rika QQ, the shutdown onto Yasya. Finally, the main problem here for the side of Kyrgyzstan. Now they can have a much better positioning here in this Lord Scarlet with nothing to fear. He should be able to take this Lord, but Ayaz is going to get punished a little bit too deep in. They're still not able to take it though. They're going to try to contest Hinata with a fist grab. It's still going to be the retribution coming in. The immortality is popped here for Scarlet. But it is going to be a shutdown here for the side of Uzbekistan. And now it's a wipe out. What? They got the low though. But will it be enough? It's Lalalia back online. 1/4 HP for the rest of the members here of Uzbekistan. The Lord is up to save the day for just a little bit, but that's 4 members of Uzbekistan looking to end this game. Lalalia doing her best, but they're gonna contain within as Space Loves Us lock in the base. Uzbekistan rather, takes in this first game.
Very clever use of trading. Uzbekistan showing their experience here in this matchup. Sure, they made it past the 16-17 minute mark, but the true trick there was forcing Lalalia to overextend. Yes, the initial trade was a mid laner for a roamer, but how important is Lalalia or Lala? No.
I just want to call her Lala at this point.
No, it's Lalyala.
But it's Lalalia.
It's Lalyala.
Lalyala, yeah.
Right? They put the Lia in the middle. But how important is the Kufra, right? To the lineup. Very important. It is literally half of the lineup, and she is holding down the softies for the team. She is literally the lifeline of the back line. Uzbekistan, Yasya is sure a good amount of burst, some vision, but she wasn't as important as the Kufra was for the other side. So that is what led to this win. That is how Uzbekistan turned it around in the late game against Kyrgyzstan. And I'll tell you this, if Space Loves Us did not step on the clutch and changed up her gameplay and became a little more, how do I say, greedy? Because that was a greedy play, what she did here.
Yeah.
If she wasn't that greedy, we would still be watching the game.
Yeah.
She just leaned hard into that fight.
And that's exactly what they needed to do. I think that was the risk that she needed to take, because I think I've heard this from some professional players. If you don't actually try that risk, you're never gonna know what's gonna happen next, right? Like, it could change the game, it could backfire, but at least you tried, right? But for Space Loves Us, this definitely went the way that Uzbekistan wanted. Even though they did draft iron drafting on the Suyo so far, that still has a 100% win rate here at Iesf. And this was the last team fight that, I actually thought that Kyrgyzstan would actually take this. They got the shutdowns, a couple of shutdowns here on the key members here of Uzbekistan, but ultimately a little bit too deep in. The team fight is honestly devastating. This was, I think, the play that you were talking about. Space Loves Us going way too deep in. Rika QQ and Space Love. That's 2 members, right? But then it played out so well here for Uzbekistan. It was a wipeout.
She
and then straight to the base, even though,
She straight up flipped a coin and said, forget it. I will do it myself. I don't need a coin to decide for me. I'm going to run in and end it. So, again, it went 17-52, almost 18. If that did not pay off, Kyrgyzstan would have gotten wiped out by the 1-1, and then it would be maybe a game extended or a Kyrgyzstan win.
Yeah. late game, the scaling. I think overall, I think with their lineup, it favor the Kyrgyzstan in the late game. But it's just Uzbekistan know how to play aggressive, especially when they needed to. Both Yasya, both Space Loves Us. I think overall, Uzbekistan really good improvements as well. Despite that, they got a 2-1 in the last time we saw them here. But yeah, I think when you reach this far into the group stage, you definitely have to bring out your A game. And for all of these members here of Uzbekistan, they're looking to take perhaps also the next game. But for Kyrgyzstan, I think it's a matter of again knowing how to play, especially in the late game, and the decision making. I think is also very important.
For sure. There was plenty that team captain Hinata was doing to kind of scramble that. And it didn't look like it was going to pay off in the early game. She kind of looked like she was just throwing out ults randomly. But when it mattered, that's what scrambled Team Kyrgyzstan for the victory. So going into game 2, if they want to extend, I agree with you. Keep it streamlined. Don't play these tentpole kind of lineups that just get scrambled when you lose one of your main components, and maybe play for the early. This was too late game centric. All right.
Yeah.
So when we come back, we might see the conclusion of this series once again, up by 1 point. Team Uzbekistan going up against Team Kyrgyzstan. We'll be right back. Howdy, y'all. Welcome back. You're smack dab in the middle of this best of three between Kyrgyzstan and Uzbekistan, and the latter actually shocked us by playing aggressively in the late game to turn it around and put them at match point. You're joined here by Kim and Leo. We're calling the action. Kim, where did it go wrong for Kyrgyzstan? Could they have done that better?
Yeah, I think it's just more of the decision making, I think, in the late game. Or rather, yeah, I wouldn't really say it's like late game, but I was actually surprised with the turnout. I was expecting, of course, the lineup of Kyrgyzstan to take that game. Well, based on their lineup solely, okay. But the decision making, I think for Uzbekistan, they know that their lineup can be aggressive, and I think it really paid off very well. They were able to reap the rewards in that game, and honestly, I feel like if they didn't click that on button at that moment, it would have gone a different way.
And again, the fact that it took him that long to get there might have been enough for Team Uzbekistan to read into that situation. So, again, before we signed off for the break, that's what I said. Don't play for the late game. Maybe find a way to be proactive early on. We appreciate the Kufra. We appreciate how Lalyala played, but there are better ways. So, Kyrgyzstan now on the blue side, and then Uzbekistan answering back. Again, Lancelot, I don't even know him. That was game one.
Yeah.
Should it show up early here?
I think we've seen the teams lately prioritize different heroes this time. Like I think for the male division, there was a heavy priority on the Lancelot. So I think for the ladies, the tempo's a bit different. I think they kind of want to go for XP laners or roamers first. We've seen Kalea prioritize Gatotkacha, even mid laners at times. But I think the game is just totally different here. It's a different meta for the ladies. But yeah, the Selena Respect Man comes through. The CC first pick, like what I said, either an XP or a jungler will come through. But I feel like for Uzbekistan, based on their lineup last time, I know Sojifly has been picking up the Kalea for the past two or three matches that they played here. But they're gonna go for, of course, a staple, Gatotkacha, AOG, difficult, especially for the mages that have the range, the Farsa, the Eve even. Even at a certain time, it's the Granger as well. Having a difficult time dealing with that. I feel like a lot of resources can be expended out if you have the AOG landing on you. So solid first two picks. Again, Uzbekistan working around with the early game here with their first two picks.
If the Kalia wasn't banned here, red 3, then it should show up, right, in the first phase. But Kyrgyzstan get their hands on the 1-1 once more. So that's Ayaz special. Very strong first two picks here. Should still be a...
Grok.
We're not used to seeing Grok this early, but...
Usually in the second phase, right?
Yeah, it gets picked here. I'm looking at a Grok main right now. My lady's been studying Grok. She's a big fan. Irito gets locked in. Huh. Okay, so Uzbekistan's not changing anything. Uzbekistan is playing to their identity.
Yeah, I think for this, it could be a very lethal combo. You get the Grok, you get the barrier up, and then Ayaz can set up a good crossbow tank here for Ayaz if that does happen. We've seen the Grok in the hands of I think it was Rispy last time that played it. Absolutely lethal Grok. Wasn't scared to press that ultimate. Like as long as that tectonic charge is up, she's gonna keep on pressing it, making sure that those spells are out. But the high ground mages once again are out here. So Selena as well, another power pick for Uzbekistan out. So I feel like there's a lot of mid lane bans for both sides.
Kimmy still out there since Fulvius was banned out in the final slot for Kyrgyzstan. But I don't think Uzbekistan should pick Kimmy though. I don't see it fitting in. Not in these first three picks.
Yeah. I think it can be countered here with the first three picks of Kyrgyzstan. So maybe something else. You want to be able to access that 1-1, especially before she pops in those weakness points. You haven't seen Kadira. I'm not even sure how you can manage to pull off a Kadira with the CC and the Grok being put into play. All of the good S tier mid laners are also out at this point. So are they gonna go for? Oh, they're actually gonna go for the XP lane pickup first. Maybe save that mid laner later on. See what Kyrgyzstan puts out first, and then they go ahead and counter that.
Yep. This is a good plan of action against that CC because again, you have to expect that you have to accept that she is the queen of the EXP lane. So what you do is you play a hero that doesn't necessarily fight you, but just keeps the lane at a deadlock, and then in team fights does other things. Then address the CC. You know, you compromise the 1-1, whatever comes up in the gold, in the mid or in the jungle, you give that a problem too. But check this out,
wow.
Scarlet showing us that it's not just Iron who can play Suyo, but she can too.
Yeah, she wants to challenge the win rate. It's 100% on Iron's hands, by the way. So let's see if I was expecting something different, like maybe a Fredrin or what, right, for their side, since it seems like their lineup seems to be like all out dive. But yeah, the Suyo here in the hands of Scarlet. Let's see.
The Kadira gets picked by
Kadira.
Kyrgyzstan. Again, maybe just to shock the Iritel, to find her and assassinate her. But that would have looked like a better pick for Uzbekistan. So there might be a steal.
Yeah, just denying. I think the Suyo even the Grok earlier was banned away. So it's just stealing or maybe taking away comfort picks here for the side of Uzbekistan. Something that can go head to head with the Kadira. Still the Sicilian. I would say wave clear is great. Late game is also okay, but this time Uzbekistan also steals. Well, actually, I think that at this point there's no other option, right? Like she's the only one left to pick up the hero. Picking up the Sicilian, again, I would say S tier, not S tier, A tier situational pick. Not so sure how that will fare up against a dive lineup here of Kyrgyzstan though.
Kyrgyzstan is playing with a dive.
Yeah. Hard dive,
how do I
would
say? It's short range, and that might be what Uzbekistan is looking to punish. So, this is what's dangerous for Uzbekistan. I don't think there's enough of a wall between them and their opponents to make the Sicilian work. So they have to really execute the hell out of this lineup. They have to play very specifically because, if you ask me, it looks like the teams have swapped.
Yeah.
It's like Kyrgyzstan is
a mix
wearing...
and match.
Right? Uzbekistan is wearing Kyrgyzstan's skin and the other way around.
Yeah.
Welcome to game number 2. Match point for Team Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan. This is their ploy. This is their way of trying to force game 3. Plays their opponent's strat.
Yeah. Well, it didn't work out well. Let's see if they'll say like, okay, it's my time to give you guys a tutorial. This is actually how it works. But we're just starting off the game, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing Iron on something a bit more contemporary because she's only played a Suyo and a Pakiro in the jungle. So this is the first time I'm seeing her with something like a Hayabusa in play. Oh wow! Very very early first blood up there, and that's like what you said. It's the queen of the XP lane, the CC, which is almost all the time on the ban list. Once it's out, it's almost all the time prioritized by the teams.
And what's unfortunate is Hinata didn't even try. Hinata knew she was going to die and didn't even press the flicker. So we know that much was going to happen. And here's the silver lining for Team Uzbekistan. It's better Hinata than anyone else. Maybe except Sogdifly. That's a flicker spent.
Okay, Soji Fly. Oh, so much burst, so much dives, and there you go. Soji Fly falls. Hinata forced to use that ultimate out, but maybe gonna try to go in. Doesn't have the ultimate just yet as they back away. 2 kills here for Kyrgyzstan.
So the Fly is another, how do I say, expendable. That Gatot Kacha. So as long as the Iritel, the Sicilian, or the Hayabusa aren't as easily compromised in the early game, then this should still be winnable for Uzbekistan. Again, the same things that we were saying for Kyrgyzstan in game 1 apply now for their opponents.
Yeah, and it seems like it's working out well from them. This is how they want to play it here in the early game. Like what you said, it's short range, but if you go for the full dive, the combos can be very deadly. The Grok tectonic charge, then you head over and get that rock waves combination. You can see it deletes the members here of Uzbekistan.
Clean turtle take for Kyrgyzstan. it's not like there's anything else Uzbekistan could have done, and I think this is a wise choice. They understood the assignment that we cannot fight back, and we'll just stay behind our own side of the river. Lalyalia denying the camp steal. Iron is having a hard time.
Yeah, I mean, those barriers are up. I think it's enough intimidation also if you have the barriers up, right? Like you don't know when Lalia is gonna go for the setups, and that's really what's intimidating about this Grok right now. She's not afraid to be the front line here for the side of Kyrgyzstan.
Yep. The new Grok has more crowd control, but they removed his crowd control immunity, like the easily accessible crowd,
Fair. It's
crowd
fair.
control immunity.
Yeah, I think it's a fair lineup, but here on top, wow, Rina Blue, 2 levels ahead from Hinata, who's totally struggling here. And I think this is also the reason why you see Iron rotating towards this lane more frequently than the gold lane.
Yeah, but there really isn't much he can do. Look at this. They're gonna try.
The return advantage from Rina Blue with the I believe this was that the vengeance? No, it was just a curtain call, and now diving right in again. Iron taken down low. It was just a bait there to take down 2 members up top.
Uzbekistan is reeling right now. They are crawling towards a late game situation because they need farm on Space Loves Us. They need farm on Yasya. And now Iron is going to lose her purple.
Yeah, this is difficult, especially if you are a Hayabusa. This is the first time I'm actually seeing Iron on something different. But yep, they're going to be trying to at least disrupt the farm here of Iron. Members here of Uzbekistan. Turtle is up for the taking. Kyrgyzstan took it earlier, and now Lalalia gonna get punished there by the wall, the barrier, and the Bat's impact here from Yasya. And now the rest of the members here of Kyrgyzstan gonna try to go in. That's a crossover tang from Ayaz, but now the punish from the side of Uzbekistan. Sojifly falls, double kill picked up for Iron, and now Ayaz as well getting caught between glues, the Hinata's glue, and now the Turtle gonna go to the side of Uzbekistan. That's 3 members down for the price of 1.
Masterfully played by Uzbekistan. They take the turtle, and now they're gonna punish Scarlet. Oh wow, how the turns of table. Kim, Uzbekistan, this is what their lineup is good at. They aren't as ult reliant, especially in the late game, but here they showed us in 5 minutes in that this is what a late game lineup could look like if you let them get free hits. This is, I hate to say it, deja vu. Remember that Battle of Thermopylae situation in that funnel in the orange side of the jungle up top in game 1? That's literally but opposite. This is that thing, but in reverse.
Yep. Wow. It's like watching a Christopher Nolan film. But yeah, you know what? Looking at this, I think this is how they want to play it. I think of, again, the hero here of Lalia is very punishable, especially when you go in, no crowd control. Yeah, they remove the like what you said, they remove the what was that? The crowd control. The she's not controlled when she goes in for the tectonic charge. So I think that's also a factor. She has to be a bit more calculated now, as you can see, like Yasya's Bat's face and Bat's impact. It's the pokes are starting to hurt. Not to mention Space Loves Us as Irrital as well.
Yes. Grok, even before the rework, already sucked against magic defense or magic damage. So now it's just all the more made worse. So again, taking Time Bomb, this lineup against Team Uzbekistan, and now they have a small lead. Again, 100 gold. But the fact remains, if Uzbekistan can force this to go the distance and maybe even start winning fights, then it's going to be worse for Kyrgyzstan. They better say goodbye to a comeback victory.
Yeah, I think just one team fight can actually turn their ties around. As you can see, the gold is not that far apart. Like it's it's at equilibrium right now. Earlier it was a little bit towards the side of Kyrgyzstan, but now it is equal for both sides. So this is where it goes, like the last turtle. Let's see how this will turn out. But it seems like for Uzbekistan, they're gonna try to start it up. Flicker out there. Rina Blue gonna get taken down there by Yasya, and now Lalalia gonna try to go for the setup play. Sojifly does not have the AoEG just yet, but that's going to be Uzbekistan picking up the last turtle of the game.
Kim, they're not done.
too deep. Flicker out there for Hinata. AOG a little bit too late for Sojifly. Oh man, Hinata, the only casualty there for the price of 2, and now Uzbekistan gonna go in for that turret. The Sicilian punish there. Rika QQ claps back as well. Kyrgyzstan takes down 3 members here of Uzbekistan on the mid lane.
And that's because Uzbekistan forced the issue. Uzbekistan tried to get as much out of that exchange, and in return, they got that tier 1 in mid, which I think, on the grander scale of things, is worth it. I would take that trade, especially if I'm drafting or playing a lineup with a draft like this, any day of the week. And today's Wednesday, from where we are.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think for their side, right? Like that's the same thing that they did. I think for the teams, this with a match point like this, you better make the plays. You better take the risk. And Space loves us, by the way. We haven't seen just yet. Oh, Lalia misses that tectonic charge once again. I think that was oh no, Purify's used. I thought that was a Purify used by Space loves us, but yep, that is going to be them. I'm gonna counter engage here up against the side of Kyrgyzstan. Revitalize has been used here. Vina Blue gonna try to go in with the vengeance. They're able to sustain for a bit, but not for long with the bat step back. She gets taken down, and now here comes Iron for the backline damage. It is going to be Rika QQ. Still surviving with the Thalassophobia. The barrier is up, but ultimately it's gonna be Space Loves Us that takes them down. Now it is only Lalalia. Bats impacts to take her down once and for all. Ayaz, the only one left. They should be able to take down the second tiers here.
9 minutes in. This is where Uzbekistan's clutch gene comes into play. This is that same moment in game number 1 at about the 16, 17 minute mark where I decided, you know what? Let's just go. We don't have to wait for anything. We can force the issue and we can win. And now they have a, oh my lord, 4,000 gold lead. Kim, they have a 4,000 gold lead, and they were the ones favored in the late game. Guess what? It's already the late game.
Yep, 9 minutes in, already the late game. I think they're playing so well, right? Like very calculated also for the side here of Uzbekistan. I think for now, with this first floor take, they should be at least able to take away some of the turrets that, some of the outer turrets here of Kyrgyzstan, and maybe even pressure out the purple buff here as Kyrgyzstan now on the defensive side up against Uzbekistan.
Lord still marching down bottom. The conceal play from Kyrgyzstan. They're not going to catch anyone here. Will they? Nah.
No. Just to clear out the waves. Please check.
Blue team turret has been destroyed.
All right. So this is still a slow push for Uzbekistan. They know that they can't force everything. They do find one here. Rika gets flushed out of that bush. A wall here to slow things down. This is a tactical use of the rampart by Lalyalia.
Yep. I think right now for the side of Kyrgyzstan, gonna be on the defensive side, but they're gonna try to pull some. It's the shot by Ayaz. And now Soljifly trapped in the barrier here. Gonna try to sustain for a bit. That's gonna be the crossbow attack again onto Space Loves. It's gonna be a double kill picked up by the 1-1. The clapback from Kyrgyzstan. A little bit too deep into the base. There was still the turret on the mid lane. So a little bit too overzealous coming out from Uzbekistan. But Hinata, okay, she should be able to escape that one. Minion cart coming in. 2 members down. And yeah, I think Kyrgyzstan still in the game as of the moment, right? They were able to defend. Plus, at least take in some side turrets here from the side of Uzbekistan.
Ain't that a bit of deja vu? The same situation happened in mid. Remember, in game 1, Uzbekistan were pushing in, and they felt like they wanted to get a little more and got punished underneath the turret. So now, Uzbekistan have to learn from these mistakes because the more they get punished, the more they get denied the late game.
Yeah, it's like a pendulum at this moment, right? Like it swings back and forth between these two teams. Sometimes it's Uzbekistan that wins. Sometimes it's Kyrgyzstan that claps back up against them. And right now, earlier was like a 4K lead when they were taking down the goal. Now it's back to at least 1.5K. As of the moment, the most damage dealt, of course, is none other than Yasia with the Sicilian. This is to be expected, but we have to take note as well of Ayaz that's scaling right behind her. But that's a solo kill. Oh no, that's a 3-man rotation down bot. Yasia taken down. Rina Blue with the Sicilian right now that is pretty much active at the 12-minute mark.
It's kind of frustrating to be Rina Blue here. She is one of the more burst reliant members of Team Kyrgyzstan, but she just dies so quickly. So to burst or to be bursted is what she's dealing with right now.
Yep. I think they're gonna start with this Lord for the side of Uzbekistan.
Whoa!
Oh wow! Look at it. Oh, yeah, because the man, it's gonna be hard to go in. There's the Petrify and the Rough Waves combo onto Sojify, but there's a guy. Side with the AOG, a mega kill for Yasya. And now it's Scarlet and Rina Blue. Hinata gonna be able to tug her back in. Scarlet, I don't think he can escape from that one. A double kill picked up. And the Lord, for sure, going to the side of Uzbekistan. Quite unfortunate. Rina Blue is just back in. And she's like, I'm a bit too late. As Uzbekistan gonna be picking up that second Lord of this game.
To burst or to be bursted seems to have put Rina Blue in a very specific position. She just respawned, yes, but from this point on, in more team fights moving forward, she has to say, is it even worth it? Do I have to go for the late entry? And that kind of puts into question Kyrgyzstan's forward momentum. What are they waiting for? Lalyalia's ult? Because that seems to be the only thing that works. That was the one time that they were able to punish Uzbekistan. And now, it might be an end angle.
Yep, that the only one who can set up the plays. I think the only setter that can make the plays here. But how can you do that? Kill onto Ayaz. That's one problem down for the side of Uzbekistan. The barrier to slow things down. But will that be enough? The tectonic charge. We were waiting for that, but there's the Purify from Yasya. It's gonna take down Lalyala. The Rough Waves onto the backside, but it's not gonna be enough. They do have the sustain, the AOG onto the backside. Ayorn taken down. Double kill for Scarlet. They're still surviving. A monster kill, a triple kill for Scarlet. And Sojifly with a 1v1, but it's a maniac for Scarlet. Defending the base once again. It's still not over for Kyrgyzstan.
One hell of a last stand for Kyrgyzstan, and they're able to fight another day. Under 15 minutes. Look at all these corpses laying astrew inside their own base. Allies, enemies, it doesn't matter. As long as the base is standing, Kyrgyzstan will continue to fight. And I'll tell you now, this is off of the back of Rina Blue. Rina Blue actually helped in that fight, so you never counter out. Oh, God!
Oh, no! There's gonna be the shutdown. The Bats Impact survive for a bit, but the shutdown still going to Scarlet. Here comes Iron for the backup, but a little bit too late. They got the middle turret here as well. So, like what I said, it's a pendulum. It's a roller coaster. Momentum for both of these teams. You don't know what you're gonna get next, but the base is bare here for Kyrgyzstan. Successful defense once again. Every single time that Uzbekistan comes in. Oh, wow! The Rough Waves onto... that's huge. That's huge. 30 seconds before the Lord is up. This should be the Kyrgyzstan that has a much better position. They can force out these team fights.
You're right. Uzbekistan is giving up these weird trades, and I don't know if they're necessary because the trade for Lalyalia is already a win. That's a full minute that Uzbekistan could have had a full lineup, and Lalyalia doesn't have a flicker. That could have been their win angle. But instead, they gave up Iron in addition to Yasya.
Oh, here it goes again.
Oh, Scarlet!
Oh, no! Stop with the picture. Will it be Scarlet still survives? Here comes Ayaz for the backup. That's going to cause them to back away for now. It is, again, keeping us on the edge of our seats. Both these teams just know how to work it well here in the 16-minute mark. Now the Lord is going to be the prize for both sides. Going to seal the deal here for the side of Uzbekistan. And now let's see. Bats Impact here for Yasya. They're waiting for the ultimates here. The Rough Waves onto the backside. It's not going to be able to catch Yasya. But now Lalyala going to be able to sustain for a bit. The Bats Impact. Ayaz going to get us taken down there onto the backside. Space loves us as well. But the Bats Impact onto Rina Blue. That's 3 members down. Lalyala and Rika QQ. The only one left. I feel like Uzbekistan, this is their call to end this one. The AOG onto Lalyala. She does have the flicker in just a bit to escape that. But here comes the minion base. They do have enough minions here. Uzbekistan looking to close this out. They're locking in the base. This should be it as Uzbekistan takes this series with a hard-earned victory here in game number 2 with a sweep up against Kyrgyzstan.
Well done. Well played by Uzbekistan. Again, their trademark aggression and just push forward attitude allowed for them to win with a late game centric draft. Let's check out again how they struggled to play in the early game. And here, this is the singular point, a pivot in their play that allowed for them to punish Team Kyrgyzstan through that small funnel. And this was where it began. As soon as this happened, I had hope that, hey, maybe they could farm up on this Cillion and this Iritel, and indeed they did.
Yeah, I think the communication is also important on what they want to happen in,
for sure.
in a certain amount. Yeah, this was the game-changing tectonic charge that happened right there, wherein this was the first defense up against the First Lord for the side of Kyrgyzstan. They were able to get the crossbow of Tang and eventually successfully defend. I think twice they were able to successfully defend, picking up a Maniac also for Scarlet, but unfortunately not enough as Uzbekistan knows what to do in the latter parts of the game. The decision making, like what I said, is super important on what they want to happen. It was all. I feel like at times it was a bit here and there on what they wanted to happen, but ultimately, again, they were able to close this out. A pendulum of a game, roller coaster of emotions, but they were able to close this out. This was a bit more trickier for the side of Uzbekistan to be able to close this out in a 15-minute game, I believe.
A little above. This is just about the Maniac still. There was a time in the game where it seemed like Uzbekistan were getting cold feet, where Uzbekistan were getting nervous and forcing fights. It was after this where they were trading weird. But at that point, they knew that they won. And here is that moment right here wherein they were just going in straight for the base. They knew they had the game. And I love that they never doubted themselves. Sure, you can get impatient. Sure, you can get nervous. But as long as you know what you're capable of, it should be doable. And again, I think this is off the back of their team captain, Hinata.
Yeah, I think as long as Iesf is out, right, that should be the main problem here for Uzbekistan, because you don't want to be having that 1-1 stack up on you, and there's also Scarlet there to go in for the final kill. So I think once Iesf and Lalyala, once they were down, I think that was the signal for Uzbekistan to go in for that final finish on the Crystal. 17 minutes into this game.
Yeah, it was
a hard-fought victory.
It was very similar to game 1, right? As soon as whoever Lalyala was playing in Kufra in game 1, Grok in game 2, or Iesf, Iritel in game 1. Oh no, it was also still a 1-1. Yeah, it was still a 1-1
Still
in
a
game
1-1,
1 and 2.
1-1.
Yeah. As long as you took those two parts away, then Kyrgyzstan, their lineup shatters. Their lineup goes haywire. And that's the story here of this matchup. And Uzbekistan knew that. In and out, whether with an early game lineup, a late game lineup, they just knew how to play with that kind of, against that kind of draft.
Yeah, it's two different kinds of lineups. We've seen like a little switch up here in game number 2, but still worked out so well for them. I think this game number 2 was a little bit more difficult for them to take in, all because they had again, decision makings in mid game to late game were also really crucial. And I think knowing that they already have the upper hand by, it's already match point for them, they have to close this out real clean. And I think by the time that it reached the late game, 3 members were down. They didn't need the Lord anymore. They just went for the push.
So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have 2 sweeps on our hands. Congratulations, Team Philippines, who started strong with one draft I'm never going to forget. And tonight with Team Uzbekistan, with another sweep, who played very, very well. Again, they knew what their lineups were strong with, and they knew how to win from any situation. So with that said, it has been an honor to be at your service to call these matches. You've been watching the World Esports Iesf Asia and Oceania Qualifiers for women's Mlbb. Her name is Kim. My name is Leo. Behind the scenes is our good friend Yashura, taking care of us. We have had one hell of a time. I hope you did too. We'll see you in the next broadcast. Y'all have a great evening ahead.